Perfect Terror Podcast, episode 289, Lamar, Jurassic Games, Extinction.
Well, if you follow our show long ago, we used to have shows where we had dinosaur movies go against each other.
Yep.
And one of the first movies was Jurassic Games, and I loved it. I still love it today. It's one of my favorite B movies, but lo and behold, they have done a sequel picking up after the events of Jurassic Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Several years. This was a while ago, right?
Yeah, I think it came out like 2018,
Yeah. I
something
remember
like
we
that.
saw the
Yeah.
first one. It was way back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lamar, let's start how we always start and rate our first category. What do we think of the story?
Well, the story, if you will, to pick up from Jurassic Games, Tucker, yeah, just Tucker. He won the Jurassic Games because he was convicted of being a killer of his wife, but actually it was the one that he was going against, the woman, Joy, I guess that's her name.
Mm-hmm.
People that are on death row compete in Jurassic Games, which is a virtual reality simulation of a place with dinosaurs running around trying to kill you. So he won this one, but he still ends up in jail. And Joy is actually the one who's like the big celebrity from the games. She's just rude to everybody, all that kind of stuff. And they're trying to, I think, do something new with the show. However, inside the system, though, Joe, there is somebody that looks like the previous host.
Yeah.
And so when they go inside to fix it, they get trapped, and the people, like the technicians that go inside, they have to compete in the Jurassic Games. And then Tucker finds out that his son has been put in Jurassic Games, so he has to go back in as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot going on with this sequel. I like the way they
Yes.
expanded it. They didn't just come back and do like the new group of people thrown in there. They
Mm-mm.
added an element like the system is out of control.
Yep.
The people that created the system are now stuck in the game, and there's all kinds of new ways of like controlling the creatures and stuff. Like,
Power-ups.
yeah, there's like a whole bunch of new stuff. So I thought it was a really good continuation, and they upped the ante. I thought it was a little long though.
It was. That's my only complaint. It was a little meandering. What was it, like 1 hour and 45 minutes or something like that?
Yeah,
It didn't need to be that long.
no.
No.
Well, what do you give it for story?
I have to give it a half a point.
Yeah, half point for the length.
Yeah.
Our next category, Lamar, is what do we think of the characters?
This is a problem for me because the first Jurassic Games had like these crazy convicts,
Yeah.
and I liked those characters
Mm-hmm.
because they were crazy, but they have to work together, all that kind of stuff. These are just more like just regular, just
They're tech
people.
nerds.
Yeah, they don't have any, and they don't really have any like quirks to them. See, the previous movie, they had the convicts with quirks and stuff
Yeah.
like that. This one, they're just like, eh, all right, they're there. Yeah,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah.
They weren't bad characters, and it was like, pretty well acted actually. Like
Hmm.
everyone did well with it, but like you said, like there's nobody that's like outrageous except for maybe the girl, what's her name? The Joy,
Joy.
cuz she's kind of
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
still, but yeah, other than her, like mundane characters, I
Yes,
guess.
yes.
Well, I'm going to give it a half point for characters.
I agree. Half point.
Well, Lamar, next category is what do we think of the action?
Hell yeah. So we mentioned the power ups because in the first Jurassic Games, they were just trying to escape the dinosaurs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This time, you have people that can turn into dinosaurs. You can choose what dinosaurs you can turn into. They have hover bikes. You have mechs. You can form guns. You can power up the guns.
Yeah.
So that made it cool. That made it like cool action. And I feel like even though this movie is slower and is all length, I feel like the action was faster paced in this one.
Yeah.
Like things happened, like there was more happening on screen and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
And it
a lot
wasn't
more
like
stuff.
super overdone. Well, it's outrageous, but it wasn't like, okay, I can't believe this. It was a good, it was right there with like so outrageous it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought the action was good. I even thought maybe the action scenes went even a little too long.
Really
But they were fun
interesting.
and stuff. But even that, like, I was like, the scene where they're on like the hover bikes, like that was a
Okay.
long scene. I was like, man, this they're still on doing this, but it is paced well, and it does have like really fun over the top action. So, what do you give it for action?
I'm giving it a one.
Yeah, one. I'll give him a one. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Our next category is special effects.
Once again, hell yeah. Okay, so these aren't Jurassic Park. What's the new one that they
I don't
made?
know.
Damn it,
What is
redone,
reborn,
reborn,
retribution,
rebirth,
rebirth.
return to Jurassic Park, whatever. They're not those, but I will say they do different things because
Yeah.
not only do these dinosaurs just run around and stuff, these dinosaurs you can attach guns to them.
Yeah.
That's funny to me. Yeah.
Part of like the CGI, and this might be me just reading too much into this whole scenario, but in the movie, the dinosaurs are technically not real. They
True.
are a simulation. So we're watching a simulation of a simulation, Lamar. So it's not meant to be perfect.
You got a point there. I can't fault you. Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of green screen in this movie. Like I
Oh,
think
hell
all the
yeah.
backgrounds and stuff are green screened.
There might be two scenes where it's not green screen. One in the jail and then one when they're in like some hideout place. And
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
But it works for like everything about the aesthetic of this movie. It works well for this.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give it 1 point for effects.
Agree.
Well, Lamar, our last category. They left this off again for a sequel. So our last category, sequel potential.
Well, I'm already a fan. These are ridiculous movies. I like the concept. I would definitely like to see a sequel, but I almost want to see a new cast.
Hmm.
Bring back some quirky characters. Don't bring back just the mundane characters. Bring back some like I don't know, some convicts or something crazy, most hated people on the planet, something like that.
What if they go back in time, Lamar? Now they have to go back in time to get out of the Jurassic Games. They decide to go back in time before the dinosaurs existed and make them not exist at all so that the Jurassic Games don't exist. But when they get back into time, they have to kill the dinosaurs. They're in the real Jurassic Games against real dinosaurs.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
Yeah, I said, what if they go back in time, Lamar? And the
Mm-hmm.
criminals, they don't want to be in Jurassic Games in the future. So they
Ah.
have to go back in time to eliminate the dinosaurs and past. So
Mm.
Jurassic Games in the future doesn't exist. In order to
Oh.
do that, they are
Whoa.
essentially doing Jurassic Games in the past.
No, I don't like that idea.
No?
No.
Yes, son of a bitch.
Why don't they just go back in time?
Yeah, I said that.
But you're talking about they have to go back in time to stop the Jurassic Games from
Yeah.
happening. Just go back in time in Jurassic Park or whatever. I don't know.
Then it
I
would be
mean,
there would be
eh,
no games then.
I just see just keep it at Jurassic Game because let's talk about this, Joe. The
Hmm.
idea itself makes no sense
Yeah.
because if they lose, they still get executed,
Yeah.
but you can still just execute them anyway. But you're giving them a chance to live,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like,
Yeah.
well,
Giving them a shot
why don't you do like Running Man, like something real?
because they're dinosaurs and dinosaurs don't exist anymore, so it's more fun.
Like they said, Joe, it's about the ratings, and
Yeah.
that's why I love this franchise because it's so ridiculous, and I love it.
What if they go back in time, Lamar, and it's like the cavemen and
They're
like
the Jurassic Games.
yeah, I'm saying like they started the Jurassic Games in the past, like a bunch of cavemen.
That's not Jurassic. That's them just living like that. That's their real world. Like, hey, yeah,
All right. Well, what do you give it for sequel potential?
I gave it a 1.
Yeah, I want to see one more, I think.
Yes,
I don't want him
yeah.
to drag it on too many times.
No,
One more
no.
good one. Well, Labar, we've tallied the score, and it looks like this movie gets a 4 out of 5.
It's still good. I don't know if it's as good as the first one because
I
I
think I
feel
like the
like
first one better.
the first one kind of it was more comical, and I think that was because the host in the first one. This one is a little bit more serious, even though they had somebody to kind of be that guy.
Little,
But
a
it
little
looks
more
like
serious, or
yeah.
taking themselves too serious?
I think that's the problem. They took themselves too serious. This
Yeah.
is this is a movie about convicts who have to pretty much put on VR headsets to compete to be released from their jail sentence in an artificial Jurassic Park or
Yeah.
world. Don't take it too serious, man.
No.
No,
Well, does that wrap it up then, Lamar?
it does.
All right. Jurassic Games 2. Peace.
Deuces.